welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers, brought to you by Mercury Insurance. John Hartung, Jerry Hairston Jr., Nomar Garciaparra. The Dodgers get swept in Atlanta. They are shut out for the third time this year. And, boy, we talked about it in the pregame show how runs could very well be at a premium in this game. You have two of the game's best pitchers on the mound in Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Chris Sale. And Yoshi gave up a home run on the first pitch of the game, Jerry. That was it in this game. Chris Sale was dominant in throwing his first shutout in 7 years.
And that's what we said coming into this series. We got to make sure we win game one. And then yesterday I said it was a must win because you can run into a buzzsaw. When Sale is on, like you saw tonight, he is extremely difficult to square up, let alone score runs. Even a run off him, he was in complete command. Yamamoto pitched great. Gave up really one mistake. That's not really a mistake because it was the first pitch of their half of the first inning, just trying to get a strike. Credit the Braves. They played well this series.
And that first pitch wasn't necessarily, it wasn't a fastball down there. He was still throwing it off speed. This was, going to be a pitcher's duel. That's what we thought it was going to be, and it ended up being a pitcher's duel. It was well pitched by both sides. Chris Sale, the Dodgers had no answer for Chris Sale. We had said the key was going to have to come down to opportunities, and the Braves, first pitch, capitalized on it. That's exactly what they ambushed on the very first pitch, and they get a home run. Dodgers leadoff double, couldn't capitalize on it. It was simple as that. Yeah. Small opportunities, one team capitalized, the other team didn't.
I have a feeling Chris Sale was a little amped up for this one tonight, Nomar. He hadn't thrown a pitch 100 miles an hour in 8 years. He threw 2 of them tonight. He hadn't thrown a shutout in 7 years. He got that done tonight. 11 punch-outs, didn't walk anybody.
He was locked in. He was efficient. He was on the attack mode. He was confident with every single one of his pitches, and rightly so. Was keeping the Dodgers off balance. He was mixing up the slider, but really that fastball, he was just going after them and attacking them. If he felt like he was behind or felt like he really needed a strike, he was like, listen, here it is, prove that you can hit it. And that's exactly what he did. And as you mentioned, with that confidence and the way he was feeling with his pitches, he was getting it up to 100 miles an hour. And it was his game today, and he finished it.
Yeah, and you got to respect it. Again, a guy that has elite stuff, wipeout stuff, he was pitching. He was not throwing. Spotting that fastball command, different shapes to his slider. Sometimes he was taking something off that slider and then mixing in the changeup as well. Strike one, we say it all the time. It is so important, vital to big league pitchers. And when a guy like that is getting strike one and you're walking on the plate almost 0-2, 1-2, just about every single time up at the plate, it could be a nightmare for the hitter. So, again, tip your hat to Chris Sale, man. He really brought his A game and dominated a really good Dodger lineup. I know the Dodger lineup has been struggling for quite some time, but they got great players in that lineup. He made his pitches, and he gave his team and made sure they won tonight.
Another thing we talked about on the pregame show today was how when you face a guy like Chris Sale, you have to be able to do the little things. Something the Dodgers did not do well last night or the game before is you get a leadoff double and you don't get that runner over to third base. And it happened tonight. The only 3 at-bats the Dodgers had with a runner in scoring position, Jerry, are right after this pop fly double by Mookie Betts. And that was it. They never got him past second base.
Yeah, obviously Mookie Betts doesn't crush it, but he gets on base with the leadoff double, find a way to get on base. Now we got to make sure we get him over. And listen, the next batter, obviously contact is king, and I think Freddie Freeman, I think that approach is trying to pull the ball. He does hit it pretty deep there, left center field. Harris has a really good arm and unable to cash it. You have to be able to try to put the ball in play. Miggy Rowe puts a pretty good swing on it, but a fly out to center field, and that was it. Chris Sale, when he's on, it's so difficult to square up. So once again, Dodgers, not just tonight, and you made it a case earlier, John, they've really struggled, not just the last couple nights, really the last 6 weeks to 2 months. They've struggled executing. Runner on second base, getting over to third base. I think it's a little tougher when facing a guy like Chris Sale. But again, and we said it last night, the night before, the last several weeks, you got to be able to execute and manufacture runs.
Listen, Freddie Freeman, he knows he's frustrated with himself. He knows that because that opportunity, I think he was trying to pull that ball. Especially when you're thinking, you get that off speed. A little easier to pull an off speed pitch than it is that fastball, especially coming at the angle that Chris Sale is coming at you and you're on lefty. So I think he saw the breaking ball. And he's like, great, this is the pitch I can do it. He just wasn't able to pull that. But I think that was the critical point because it just changes the at-bat for the guys after, whether, getting that fly ball, deep fly ball, possibly for that sac fly. He knows that, and obviously, it's easy to say, okay, this is what you have to do. He knows what you have to do. but it's easier to say than actually execute, especially a guy like that. But he got the pitch, and I think he was trying, and he wasn't able to pull it.
And Nomar knows this. I think we're more frustrated. If I'm a player in the locker room, I'm more frustrated about game 1 and 2. I feel game 1 and 2. If we play our game, we win both games, at least get yesterday's game. Unfortunately, they didn't play good baseball, and they allowed the Braves, who did play good baseball, to win those games. That's the frustrating part. Sometimes, this is the big leagues. You're going to run into a guy, Pedro, Randy Johnson, when the Rocket was on his A game, and then obviously Chris Sale. When he's on his A game, it's pretty much so difficult to score 1 or 2 runs, so you tip your hat. That's why you have to focus early on in the series and get game 1 and 2.
Yeah, no, you're definitely frustrated at that. Without question, you're frustrated. And then, you know you're facing a great pitcher, but you also get frustrated going, we also had such a tremendous performance from our own pitcher, our ace. He was unbelievable, and we couldn't, we ran into a great pitcher as well, but you're going, man, we couldn't just try to pick him up because he was on his game and gave them a chance when you know you have another opposing pitcher who's locked in. Yep.
Dodgers came into the series with a 4-game lead over the Braves for that second spot in the National League. It is down to 1. Let's head back to the booth. Check in one final time with Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser.
They're an amazing pitchers duel in this game. Yamamoto against Chris Sale, but it's Chris Sale that betters Yamamoto. Gives up a home run first pitch of the game. 1-0 as Sale goes the distance.
It was really fun to watch, and it's tough to be on the losing end of this, but Yamamoto should hold his head high and be very proud of the outing. And Chris Sale, really the fountain of youth, amazing thing. And there's a lot of teams around baseball looking at the Braves now like, are we going to end up down 0-1 to this team when we face them in the playoffs?
Yeah, Dodgers up just 1 game over the Braves in the National League standings for the 2 seed now, and they head up to Detroit and try and salvage this road trip.
It's going to start with a spark with Skubal on the mound, so it's going to be exciting for that. And the Dodgers need that kind of spark and the fans to be into it in Detroit for them to kind of awaken, and especially the offense.
All right, game 1 of the series tomorrow night, 3:40 Los Angeles time.
Joe and Oral, thank you very much. Dodgers lose all 3 games in Atlanta by just 1 run. Let's show you what happened on this Thursday night at Truett. Bottom of the 7th, 2 on, 1 out. Jack Dreyer can handle this all by himself to get a double play.
I say that all the time. Pitchers are athletes as well. Look at the Manos. JD, reaction time, great job under control, getting that double play. Braves were threatening. First and second, only 1 out, but JD doing his thing.
Unfortunately, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, tough luck lost tonight in Atlanta. Right now, he's speaking with Kirsten Watson and the media.
Yoshi, it was really only that first pitch of the game that got you. What was it like going toe-to-toe with Chris Sale tonight?
最初の初球打たれたあそこがポイントだったんですけども、その中でクリスセール投手と投げ合うっていうのはどういう感じでしたか？
先制点だったり、なんていうんだろうな、そういったのはすごく大切になるなというのは、すごく意識してましたし、集中して試合には入りましたけど、初球をちょっと、甘くいったところを、いきなり、ホームラン打たれたので、すごく悔しいポイントになりました。
Yeah, because I know because he was going to be kind of neck and neck game, and he's a great pitcher, so I have to focus on my execution. Then, however, the first pitch it kind of got away from me.
It's clear you made that adjustment very quickly after the first batter. How do you adjust, and how are you just navigating through a lineup when there's no room for error, but also when you know it's a pitcher's duel?
ゲーム全体通して1球の後、すごくうまくアジャスト調整できたと思うんですけども、その中で全体のその打線を相手にするにあたってどういう意識でしたか？
やっぱりすごくいい打線でしたし、チーム全体もすごく状態がいいのも分かってたので、気を引き締めて一人ずつ、投げていきました。
Yeah, because it's a great lineup. I knew that, so I just have to stay sharp the whole game.
On almost any other night, we're talking about and breaking down a Yoshinobu Yamamoto outstanding outing that resulted in a win. Nomar, unfortunately, it's a 1-0 loss, but still, he was fantastic.
He really was. And he just mentioned how he really had buckled down and then was sharp the rest of the game. other than the very first pitch. So we're going to go to the K zone, and we're going to see the first pitch and then see how he was able to adjust and then just dominate after that. It was really, really impressive because here's that very first pitch. It's a split finger, but it's right over the heart of the plate. Tip your hat to Baldwin. He was probably looking to ambush early, and he gets one, but then after that, the four-seam fastball down. How about the sinker on the inner half to lefty was just impressive. But there's the split finger he was looking for to probably start the game off. But everything else now, he was just dotting the corners. It didn't matter whether it was the fastball, whether it was the slider, the curveball, the split finger. Everything was working, and after that, he really settled in, had complete control, even climbing the ladder with the fastball to get the swing and miss. I mean, what an impressive outing. You know, gives up 4 hits, just 1 run, 1 walk. And then you have 8 Ks behind that, and you're the loser. you take the loss.
I love the fastball command. Obviously, the split was there as well. That curveball really was a weapon for him, and I love that he's really factored in and used that curveball tonight. And again, that first pitch of the ball game, tip your hat. Yes, it was a mistake, but it was a splitter. It wasn't like he pumped the fastball straight here or there. Tip your hat to Baldwin. After that, not giving up really anything. Great job control. You see the splitter makes it look like a fastball, and this is what you want from your starter. You want your starter to go out there and put up zeros, give up a couple runs, and give you a chance to win, because on the flip side, you realize that your offense should string along a couple hits and runs to go along with them to give your team a chance to win as well. But unfortunately, on the other side, they had Randy Johnson 2.0, and he was on his A game. So Yamamoto did his job, did his part. Unfortunately, we weren't able to score any runs tonight.
Let's hear from Yoshinobu Yamamoto's battery mates. Ben Rortvedt is speaking with Kirsten and the media.
Ben, working with Yoshinobu tonight, what was it like just being a part of this pitcher's duel and knowing that there really was no room for error when you're going up against a guy like Chris Sale?
Yeah, I think all of us knew it from the start. We like where we're at when Yoshi's on the mound. So after the first pitch, I mean, you guys saw what we were able to do. Kudos to Yoshi, be able to dig in there, rebound, and give us a fighting chance the whole game.
It seemed like the curveball was kind of the go-to put-away pitch. How did you just kind of work with him to use his full pitch mix through their lineup?
Yeah, just trying to push and pull guys. I mean, Yoshi has a lot of pitches, can move the ball around, so just trying to keep people uncomfortable.
The home run that Baldwin hit, do you think he was waiting for that splitter, or was just elevated and he did what he can do?
Baldwin's a good hitter. I think the league's starting to find it out. Yeah, I mean, there was a pitch take back. That's the one today. There was a splitter that I think was hittable in the middle of the zone, and he put a good swing on it.
You were able to get that hit off of Chris. Just what either adjustments or what did you see in that specific at-bat?
Yeah, didn't chase a slider. I mean, he has good stuff. Just trying to get something in the zone I can handle and put a good swing on it.
Chris Sale strikes out 11, throws a complete game shutout. Dodgers are swept in Atlanta. We'll hear from Dave Roberts and Mookie Betts coming up.